This is going to be so much fun. So we're going to be making a quilt in the style of Faith Ringgold, and we're going to frame our square, so that is a square paper, with various pieces of little squares of either from magazines. I cut these out from magazines. It could be if you got junk mail and you just had some advertisements. Any kind of paper that you cut in squares will do. You can use little bits of felt. You can use wrapping paper. You can use pretty much anything. If you're looking through old magazines, some of the pieces I think are kind of cool is when they show texture. Remember, texture is what something feels like. And this looks like it would feel like fabric, but it's really just paper. So if you're looking through old magazines or stuff, junk mail that comes in your mail, you can look for things that have an interesting looking texture to them. Okay guys, so I have way more than I could possibly need here. I just wanted to show you a variety of the kind of things that you might use, okay? So I'm going to push these carefully aside here and start with just a square. And again, I'm using kind of a heavier paper, but any kind of paper you have will do. If you're using regular paper, regular white paper, what you can do is start with your paper, and to get a square shape is to take a corner and fold it down like this to the other side. And then you cut right along that line right there. And then when you open it up, you will have a square. If you don't want to make a square, or that just seems like a little too hard for you to do right now, you can just use your paper as a rectangle too, okay? All right, so what we're trying to do is create a frame, okay? So kind of like Faith Ringgold's quilt. So we're gonna create the frame, and then on the inside, you're gonna be drawing like a city from your dreams, okay? So I've got my glue stick here, and I'm going to start by choosing 4 pieces, paper, fabric, whatever I want to use, and I'm going to put them in the corners first. I'm going to start by putting them here, 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 and here. I think I'm going to start with, I kind of like this paper. That was actually an old wrapping paper I had. Maybe I'll use this pink felt. Here's another piece from a magazine with just words on it. There's that. And maybe another piece of felt in this corner. I think I'll do the red sparkle one. So from here, all I have to do is, using my various little squares that I cut out, is I'm going to fill some in here, 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 and here. So I'm actually going to put glue and go right up the edge like this, and I'm putting it kind of heavy. And then I really want to have a variety of sort of different textures here. So I'm going to try to choose some that look very different from each other. And I can turn them in different directions. That one. Maybe I'll let them overlap a little bit sometimes. Piece of foam I had. This one's from a magazine that had an article about the Northern Lights. Any kind of paper you have. go. So I have my quilt on the outside edge, and now I am ready to draw my city on the inside. Okay friends, so the next thing you're going to do is turn your picture whichever way, whichever direction you think is going to look best, and then you're going to draw a city or a town that you can be flying over. So it's up to you, whatever kind of town or city or whatever you want to be flying above, you can do that, okay? So let's talk about some different ways that we might do some buildings, okay? So I'm just going to draw a little road here in the front first, really softly. And maybe some just dashes going down the road. And then if I just draw some different rectangles, some might be shorter and some might be taller. And some might be wider. I can make some look like they're behind each other by drawing the one in front and drawing one behind. Okay. I can add as many details as I want to my city. I could add cars or bicycles or whatever I want going down the road. And then I could add some other design to my buildings here if I wanted to, any kind of rooftops or like the Space Needle or anything I want. But the last thing I want to make sure that I put in the picture is me flying over the city, just like in Faith Ringgold's story, Tar Beach. So I'm going to draw me flying over the city. And then when you are done, feel free to use the watercolors that you have and you can paint your picture. If you decide to paint your picture, you may want to trace over some lines. If you do that, I would only recommend using a Sharpie because any other kind of marker or pen is probably going to run, okay? So if you want to trace the lines, only use a Sharpie, like a black Sharpie, and then you could use your paints. Or you could just use your paints without tracing. Okay guys, I can't wait to see what you make. Have fun, and we'll see you next time.